hope all for, and this is Uncut News. I noticed one of the biggest things threatening all year in town is when the Rona money is coming through. Well, don't worry, they didn't skip your house just yet. The government says everyone should have their money in time for Christmas shopping. And if you're lucky, you might even get it as early as next week. Several teams will be registering households in Regions 4 and 5 this week. However, they believe it will take several weeks to reach every registered household in the two regions. Distribution began on September 29th, and residents of Region 1, 7, 8, and 9 were the first to get their checks. Enfield's lawyers are calling for him to be tried before a jury in the High Court. Enfield was slapped with 6 charges for misconduct in public office in relation to the big rig of 2020. His lawyers argue that if Enfield has offended the country, he should face a jury instead of a magistrate, as a magistrate's court tries offences against individuals and organisations, as opposed to the High Court, which typically deals with national issues. If he is allowed to be tried in the High Court, the charges against him would remain indictable, and the managing magistrate would conduct a preliminary inquiry to determine whether there is adequate evidence to put him on trial for the offences before a judge and jury. The opposition journalist party, the New Movement, is seemingly in shambles before they've even reached their first birthday. Throughout the election, they were one of the most vocal critics of the big rig of 2020 and corrupt governance of all sorts. These youthful individuals were guided by its presidential candidate, Dr. Asha Kissoon. The executives of the party, mainly doctors, said they were committed to fighting for the average Guyanese and remain as a balance between the government and the opposition. Well, according to one of the executive members, Dr. Joshua Kanhai, the organization sold out the second eardrug waddled into State House. So, Kanhai is leaving. But he's not the only member to leave the party in recent days. In fact, Dr. Andrew Hudson, Dr. Gerald Ford, Brij Raj Ramswarup, and Lakshman Dindyal have all resigned. Dr. Kanhai said that the TNM was predicated on pure and moral ideas for the benefit of Guyanese. However, this quickly disappeared post-election, and it became a camp impregnated with turmoil. The sole financier, according to him, is Dr. Tarain Durga of LSE Rice. He decided to pull rank and choose Dr. Kissoon as the face of the party, pushing the rest of them aside. So it looks like Durga just hops from one party to another. Where he'll pop up next to cause mischief, who knows? Now's the time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale is this 2011 Toyota Sienna with 7-seat, TV, navigation stereo, crystal lights, mag rims, fog lamps, rear fold-down screen, and much more. Pay cash for $2.5 million, or pay down as low as $500,000 with $48,000 monthly, and it's yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Rose Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamaha Street, and tell them Noriko sent you for this sweet deal. One woman in La Penitence, Georgetown, is threatening to sue City Hall for $40 million. In a letter from her attorney, Donna Hartcourt said the council entered into a 1-year agreement with her on December 1st, 2017, and she executed works under the contract but has not been paid. She claimed that she was to be paid $4 million a month. Under the contract, she agreed to provide certain maintenance services, including cutting vegetation from the road shoulders, reserves and parapets, and the desilting of alleyways and street drains for the wards of Border, North and South Cummingsburg, Durban Park, Laceytown, and Starbrook. City Hall has yet to comment on the matter. On Wednesday, 30-year-old farmer Eustace Griffith was acquitted for murder. He was accused of the July 4th, 2016 murder of vagrant Dexter Arthur. His lawyers filed a no-case submission, which the court upheld, thus directing the jury to return a formal verdict of not guilty. It was reported that Arthur had thrown a banana skin at Griffith, and an argument ensued which quickly escalated into a fistfight. Griffith reportedly stabbed him once in the chest, killing him instantly. Griffith then ran into the Brickdown police station and surrendered to the police. Yesterday, a labourer was charged with manslaughter for allegedly pushing his elderly neighbour to death over cabbages. 33-year-old Rajendra Ramlal of Potentia was not required to plead to the indictable charge, which alleged that on November 7, 2020, at Potentia, he unlawfully killed his neighbour, 63-year-old Ronald Harry Prasad. The accused was released on $200,000 bail and will make a court appearance on December 10, 2020. Reports are that Harry Prasad had confronted Ramlal about throwing cabbage waste into a trench near his home. They got into a scuffle in which Ramlal fell and severely injured his head. You can multiply your cash by selling tickets on top up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your existing hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy through Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. Earlier this week, the police received information which led to the arrest of 5 men from Rosignol, West Coast, Belize. Sources state that it is too early to determine if the men were involved in the murder of the Henry boys or Harris Singh, as the men have all provided alibis which are presently being checked out by investigators. They remain in custody and are being interrogated by detectives as we speak, which means they're probably getting the piss beat out of them. It's now time for today's Rona Report. Today, the nation recorded 62 new cases. The total number of deaths now stands at 138. There are now 11 persons in the ICU and 840 persons in home isolation. The total number of known cases in the nation is now 4,724. So, please people, wash your hands frequently, avoid touching your nose and mouth, and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds, and remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. It's November, people! Robbery season. If I were you, I would consider getting security for the home or business. I personally recommend Sheriff Security Service. I find that they are the most professional with well-trained armed or unarmed guards. Get some security this Christmas, people. Now, let's take a look at news in the region. Residents of St. Kitts were left without electricity on Thursday after a fire at the island's power plant resulted in a nationwide blackout. Officials at the St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited said no injuries were reported and gave their assurance that management and staff will do everything possible to determine the cause of the fire. Restoration work continued well into Friday morning with crew members repairing the damage caused by last night's fire. A wind of change has blown across Belize as the electorate voted overwhelmingly for the opposition People's United Party. The PUP's leader, John Bersenio, is now Belize's Prime Minister-elect. The preliminary election results projected that the PUP won 26 seats and the UDP held on to 5. Imagine going to pick up a girl, and as soon as she enters your car, she wants to run right out. Change that with Arion air fresheners, manufactured in Bulgaria and supplied across the world. Arion air fresheners provides a pleasant and refreshing scent that is welcoming every time. Arion air fresheners are available nationwide and are imported and distributed by Caribbean Motor Spares. Call them on telephone number 609-7621. Win hearts and nostrils with Arion. And now for our weird news story of the day. An Egyptian scuba diver is believed to have set a new world record for remaining underwater for nearly 6 entire days. Saddam Al-Kilani plunged into the Red Sea off the Dahab coast and remained underwater for more than 145 hours, surpassing his own goal of 121 hours. Al-Kilani, who previously made headlines when he and his fiancée, Pia Lagora, held their engagement ceremony underwater in September. Well, now he was supported in his world record attempt by a team of medical experts and fellow scuba divers. Moving on to our Uncut News Viewers Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So, you give your responses in the comments, and we just might read the best ones in the following episode. Yesterday's question was, once the Rona vaccine comes out, will you take it? Samuel Ramsey said, 90%. What about the side effects that are undisclosed? I would take my chances in isolation and eat a recommended balanced diet to boost my immune system to fight all cover mites. Nicholas Bosdio said, once elderly persons with health complications such as diabetes, hypertension, etc. do not get affected by it, I would not mind taking the vaccine at all. Before I give you tonight's question, I have to tell you that, available at Ravina's on Water Street and Anand's on Regent Street, a special Diwali Black Friday sale all in one. Vanilla for $2.98 per yard, and rubber tile for $4.88 per yard in over 36 colors to choose from, ranging from wooden floor designs to tile designs. Special prices available for wholesale buyers and shopkeepers. We have beautiful colors to match your home, office, or schools to make your floors look marvelous. Only at Ravina's on Water Street and Anand's on Regent Street. Now for tonight's question. How do you feel about the trouble going on with the T&M? Do you think this will affect their seat in Parliament or even their future in politics? Or do you feel that ultimately no one really cares? So, think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good, we just might feature it in Monday's episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Until next time, I'm Noriko Bulford saying, have a great weekend. And as always, don't drink and drive, or you'll end up on Monday's episode the hard way. Ha ha! Good night, folks. Hey, Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.